Before war, I was hunting dog trainer, and probably the best one in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, because the dogs that I trained won 4 out of 5 championships of Ukraine and 4 out of 5 championships of Belarus, where Russians always came to face us. And Sveta is a handler. She had before war, she had the
Sport show club
for dogs. She is a handler. She does dog fitness. She does rehabilitation and so on. We lived 1.5 kilometers to the front line in a 5-store building, first floor. And in the beginning of the war, we had no electricity, no heat, but you know, it's your home. You don't want to leave it. You're comfortable in it. And it was getting colder and colder. We started going to bed very early because we had only candles. And this is the house of my pupil, whose retriever I trained, and he offered us to live here because he built himself a new one. But we didn't want to leave our house. Not because there's something valuable there, because we're comfortable there. But then one night there was a rocket hit, and our windows were broken, our cars were beaten up by shrapnel, and it was extremely cold. It was the end of March or beginning of April, but it was -10, -15 Celsius at nights, and we moved in one day. We just called our friends volunteers who volunteer with us. They came, about 10 people, 6 cars, and we moved in one day. Well, when the war started, first thing I thought about is what we are going to feed our dogs with. And we had dog food for about 2 or 3 weeks maybe. And all the shops were closed, nobody accepted cards, cash only, and it was impossible to get there. Then we remembered that the owner of the biggest chain of pet shops got a English bulldog from Sveta. We called him and he said, yes, of course, come to our warehouse, take as much dog food as you can, and you can pay me by card. So we went there, took a lot of dog food for our dogs for 3.5 or 4 months. Then we came home, and she has more than 100 pupils. I had more than 30 or 40. And they started asking questions where to get dog food. We found warehouses who were willing to sell the dog food. Many people didn't have money. So Sveta wrote on Facebook, she has a lot of friends all over Europe, that Ukrainians need help, and people sent her a lot of money. We bought a lot of dog food, gave it out to our pupils, and found out that there are a lot of dog food left. So Sveta made another announcement in Facebook. We have dog food, we can give it out to you. That's how it started. We have a database now. For now it's more than 5,000 people and maybe 15 or 20,000 dogs, because many people have 2, 5, 10 dogs. That's what we have in database. And go into these deoccupied villages are even more. Now we distribute only in Kharkiv 2.5-3 tons a week, and about 300 to 500 kilos in these deoccupied villages. So we usually give out dog food to last you for 1 month. It's not long, not short. You don't need to look for dog food like once a day or once a week. For 1 month. That's how we calculate. Now we are in all of this. In every village there is a Telegram group. We are in all of these groups, and people write to us. Like today we were going to 16 addresses, but we took 50 or 60% more food than we needed. You come to a certain address, one neighbor comes and says, I have a dog. Other comes, I have 2 dogs, I have 3 dogs. That's why we gave out 60% more today. And there were some people asking. We wrote down their names and addresses. We'll come by next week. People say they have veterinary problem with their dog, but they don't have a car because Russians took it away, and their neighbors doesn't have a car, and nobody has a car. They only have bicycles, and it's pretty far away. So people ask us to get their dog, like those 4 dogs we took today. We'll get them back on Monday or Tuesday, and we'll make a special delivery of them to their owner. Of course, we'll get some more dog food to get to those places. So next week there will be 2 trips to Circony. While we were doing this, people were finding out about us because every time we make a lot of pictures and stories in Facebook. So some donators, most donators found us because of Facebook. Our donators are... Ну скажи, кто наши донаты?
From Poland, from England,
Norway.
Norway. No, Norway.
By the way, English guys were helping us like starting first 2 weeks probably, or 3 weeks of war.
Yes.
They were one of the first donators, and they found us. We had a volunteer guy in our team. He left Ukraine now because his house was bombed and his wife was killed by a rocket. He has 2 small kids, so he moved to Germany and now he's in England. And being in England, he had English friends, new friends. He told us what he was doing. They saw it on his Facebook page and they said we want to help, and they started helping.
If you had a message to send to people here, what would you like to tell them?
I would say that there are a lot of dogs who need help here. And it's not only food, it's getting them out from these places, moving them to a new family, because very many dogs were abandoned by their owners, hundreds of them. Because only from Circony we already removed about 80 or 90 dogs, and today they asked us to get out more of them. A lot of dogs need help. A lot of dogs need help, and those people, dog owners, need help too, because they sit in the occupied villages without electricity, without gas. They don't have work anymore, they don't have money, they don't have what to feed their dogs with. As you heard today, they say, I would cook some porridge for a dog, but there's no gas, and if I start fire, the Russians will see smoke and start shooting. All those dogs really, and cats, really need help.